Let the stragglers roll in. Got a great class tonight featuring CryptoRalfy. We're going to learn all things tokenomics and what to look for when you're investing. Avoid getting wrecked in these markets. I know it's a very easy thing to invest emotionally, and we're here to help you calm that. Use your brain, not your heart, when you're investing. If you guys want to port over to CryptoRalfy's screen, he'll be sharing. Ralphie, would you mind making sure you're sharing in 1080p right now, 60 frames per second, just for the sake of the number of the people on the call? Can you change that to 720 at 30 frames a second?
Okay, where would I do that exactly?
If you go to your screen, down in the bottom left screen, and then click on the application you'd like to go live on, then the next window will ask at the bottom of that window resolution and frame rate.
Let's see.
Welcome to class, everyone. Welcome. Happy Wednesday to all of you. We've got CryptoRalfy in the house tonight. Going to give us the wrinkles on our brain that we so desperately need so that we don't get wrecked in these markets. But I highly encourage you to sharpen your pencils. Make sure you've used the restroom, because once we go, we're not stopping for another hour. There will be a 10-minute AMA at the end of class. I would ask that you do not unmute and save your questions to the end. If you do have a question or a concern or a comment or a gripe or a whine or a moan, feel free to post it in class chat, which is the text chat immediately above where class is in session. And
Sean, that was 720 resolution with 60 frame rate.
30.
30.
Thank you.
4.
And just as some quick school announcements before we begin, I am giving away a couple of Ledger Nano S's for whoever has the most invites into the Discord. I will announce that at our next AMA, who those winners are. We also have closed out the first Kahoot challenge. I will announce those winners in Discord during our pizza party on Friday. We will not have class on Friday. We will just have a pizza party in which I will send out a free slice of pizza in the form of an NFT to all those in attendance. And there we go. I love the pizza party memes we got going on, although that's a little unnerving. But so yeah, please feel free to get those invites in. We are trying to grow the community, trying to give away some hard wallets here, help you guys stay safe. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to CryptoRalfy. If you would introduce yourself, and if everybody would watch his live stream, we can start. It's all yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. Hi, and welcome to everybody. My name is CryptoRalfy. I've been in crypto for a little bit, and as mentioned on the live a little while ago on TikTok, the reason why I started researching crypto in the way that I do is because I did make my mistakes and I did lose money. And I knew that I needed to change that, and I knew that I needed to learn how to research crypto. So the method that I'm going to teach you guys today is something that's been proven over time. Obviously, there's you can't always find out everything that you want to know about a project. But if you do your best and you're able to debunk a lot of the stuff that's out there, you're going to be able to make the best educated guess whether you want to invest in that project or not. So I'm going to show you a few of the strategies that I use. We're going to go over right from the beginning how I start on CoinMarketCap. You could use CoinGecko as well. I choose to use CoinMarketCap. That's where I learn. That's where I do most of my the beginning of my crypto research. We're gonna get into block explorers. Every single network has their own block explorer, so we're gonna learn that as well today. And we're gonna learn where to really find this information that we're looking for and what we're really looking for. That's another very important thing, and I'm just gonna get right into it because there's a lot to cover, and I know I have to leave some room at the end for questions. So I'm gonna get right into it. First place that I start when I'm looking into a project is CoinMarketCap, and I'm going to learn about that project. So first thing that I would do, and I'm gonna choose a project. I'm gonna choose a project that's pretty much well known, and then we'll run through that one. And after we do that one, we'll go look at another project. When people first get into crypto, they usually get into a meme coin. So we'll go with that, right? The last buzz meme coin that I could remember that really took off that people didn't know if they wanted to invest into or not was Catgirl. Everybody remembers the Catgirl pump that happened. So we're going to start there. And we could also go over some more legit coins like obviously, Catgirl's a token. We could go over coins like layer 1 projects. So first thing that I would do is I would go over to CoinMarketCap. I'm going to go ahead and type on the search bar on the top right, Catgirl. Catgirl comes up, and I'm gonna run you guys through what I look for. Most of the information that I'm looking for at the beginning is going to be right here, right? I can see right here, and I hope everybody can see my mouse. That is their website. I can see that they have posted their white paper here. We'll get into the white paper. The Explorer is the Block Explorer. Obviously, we can see under contracts that this is a BNB Smart Chain project. We will also be looking at the BSC scan, which is the Block Explorer for BNB. One very important thing that a lot of people miss when they're doing research on these projects is to look at the community, whether that's the socials, the Twitter, the Discord, the Telegram, and I'm gonna show you guys what I actually look for when I'm looking at those things. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here to the right hand side of the screen, and I want to look at total supply and max supply. We have nothing for total supply, but I can see that max supply is million, billion, trillion, 9 quadrillion, which is a ton of supply. So the next thing I want to do is I want to see what the actual circulating supply is. And I can see that it is about 32 billion, right? So there's a discrepancy there. And I want to find out why. Why is the max supply different from the circulating supply? Because that's important when we're researching crypto. Because tokens or coins could be inflationary, where they're releasing coins onto the market. And I mean inflationary in the same sense that fiat is, especially in the US right now. So I know that's something that I need to look into. Does this have tokenomics tied into it, where there's a burn mechanism, or are they just releasing more coins, or what is it that's going on? Tokens, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by max supply versus circulating supply? What does that mean?
So max supply is the total number of supply that the project actually has. And then circulating supply is the total number of coins available to the public to buy, to retail or institution, for anybody to buy. So usually, and I'll run this real quick, one project that I always talk about that I'm very careful when I invest into is HBAR. And I'm going to show you why. So we can see for HBAR, we have 50 billion max and total supply, right? For circulating supply, we have 19.5 billion. So there's a big difference there. However, it tells us right here, 39% is what's released. So this amount right here is 39% of what the total amount of coins actually are, right? Now we know HBAR doesn't have the tokenomics tied into it, where it has a burn or anything like that. So we would want to find out their vesting schedule and when the project actually releases these coins into circulating supply, because that's going to affect the market cap of the project, which is in turn, it's going to affect the direct price of the project. Did that explain it?
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. So let's move on. We're going to go back over to Cat Girl. So we want to find out. That's one of the things that we want to find out. Again, when I'm researching projects, I always have a pen and a pad. I'm writing these things down because it's hard to keep track. So I want to see what type of movement this project has. Because, again, I'm thinking about investing into it. So I'm going to look at the 24-hour volume, right? And I can see we're just under 1 million. This changes from day to day, but this is something that I always pay attention to. Fully diluted market cap is something that you could look at. However, I don't pay attention to it as much as maybe I should, right? That's a conversation for another day, but market cap is something that you will want to look at, right? So I want to see what the market cap of this project is. And I can see that it's at 46 million. That's a pretty decent market cap. Pretty decent market cap. I know this market cap has been a lot higher. So what I'm going to do is, first thing, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to put all on this chart. And I just want to see, this is very basic. I just want to look at the price action to know what I'm looking at with this project, right? And I can see that it gives me the dates on the bottom, right here at the bottom. And I can see that this project, not that it was released, because it could have been released before this, but I can see that it was listed on CoinMarketCap on 6/5/2021. And I can see what the price was. And I could also see that it didn't move or do anything till about October 10th. And then that's when it started moving, right? We could see a high jump, and then we see come back to life a little bit down here, and then we could see it just kind of faded out, right? Again, this is a poo coin. Poo coins went out of season. That's why this had that fall. Can this recover? Maybe. That's what we would probably be looking at right now. So before I get to what's here at the top, everybody always asks, where could we buy this coin if we wanted to, right? So you always scroll down to the bottom to markets. This is all the exchanges that you could buy it on. So Gate.io, LBank, you could buy it on PancakeSwap, Bitmart, and so on, right? That's how you see where you could buy any project. If I wanted to find out a little bit about the project, I could read this section here. However, this section here is provided by the project itself, so it could say whatever it wants. So you take this section here with a grain of salt. Let's go back up to the top. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the website. Now, this is something that I want everybody to pay attention to, because I've seen it before plenty of times, where this is the first red flag that could come up in any project. Right over on the left hand side, you see this little lock right here next to the actual website. That means that this is a secure website. If the project doesn't have a secure website, that is the end of your research for that project. I've seen it time and time again. If that project can't go as far as making their website secure, that's as far as you want to go with that project. That lets you know that that's not a serious project you would ever want to invest any money into. So let's move on. We are going to put dark screen because it's easier on the eye. And I can see what they have going on here. They have a marketplace coming soon. They have farming that's coming soon. I could connect my wallet, whether that's Trust Wallet or MetaMask, whichever one I choose to use. And I want to learn more about this project. So I would read what's going on here. Let's see if we could... These are some NFTs that they have. Let's see if we could get eyes on their roadmap. Again, for projects like this, go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting. Just real quick, guys, if you want to earn XP and follow along, screenshot what he's going through and post it in class chat on your own browser. If you go to Catgirl on CoinMarketCap, post that in class chat, which is the channel right above the one we're in right now. And then you can go to catgirl.io and follow along on your own. Start to get used to being able to do this research in case Ralphie is not there every time you want to invest in a new project. All right, sorry to interrupt. Take it away.
No, you're good. And I'll give them tasks as we go. I just want to get the basics out so that they're able to defend themselves from the get. So I'm looking for the roadmap. The reason I want to look for the roadmap before I do anything else, after I check if the website is secure, is because I want to go through that roadmap and I want to make sure that this project and the dev team have been keeping their word on the project, right? Have they been following what they said that they were going to do? That lets me know that the dev team is actually working, number one. That lets me know that they're serious about their project and that they're doing what they're saying that they're going to do. So that's why I like a roadmap. Let me see if I can find one. And I'm sorry about the movement of I have a new mouse today and it's the wheel's a little quicker than what I'm used to. So I cannot see a roadmap that I cannot see a roadmap. Unless okay, so we have some tokenomics here, right? Tokenomics, not that word is thrown around a lot. A lot of projects don't have tokenomics in the sense that they don't have a burning mechanism. They don't have rewards. There's not a tax to it. However, every project really has some sort of tokenomics. Catgirl's tokenomics has, I believe, and we could find this out, a 10% fee when you're buying and when you're selling. And they have a reward system where they pay you for holding. It's like an auto staking on top of whatever they have going on in the future with farming. That might be NFT farming. We can see that they've burned 63% of the tokens. That's already ringing a bell in my mind, right? Because I said that I want to see what the difference between the max supply was compared to the circulating supply. So I could do a little bit of math there and see if that adds up to that 63%. Now, this is where it starts getting interesting, right? It's telling me on the website they have 200 plus holders. Let's go back to CoinMarketCap. And this is one of the most important things when you're doing research that you could click on. And I want everybody to put a screenshot of this on the class chat. You're going to click on the actual contract. This is the official contract. This is the only source that you ever want to get your contract address from, or from CoinGecko, so that you're safe. Once you head over to BSC Scan, which is the block explorer for the Binance Smart Chain Network, there's important information that you can see here. I always want to verify that this official website is the one that we went to, right? So I can see it's catgirl.io. Perfect. I see it there. You could always click on it, right? I want to see that this contract address right here and D936 matches with this one, which we know it matches because we clicked on it and it brought us here. We see what the total supply is, and we see the amount of holders, which is 230. On the website, they were saying it was 200K plus. That is in fact true, right? Now we're going to get into the good stuff. So they have 230K holders right now. That's a good amount of investors in this project, right? But who holds what? If I was to invest into this project, can anybody really hurt my investment because they own too much of the token, right? So this little button, when you slide down to the bottom, by the way, this is all the transactions that are going through right here. Transaction hash, how long it's been. This is where you see how this 230K holders. You click on holders and you're going to see who holds what. Usually when you see a no address, that is the burning mechanism that this token has in its tokenomics. This is what they have burned. Now we can see Pancake Swap's contract, which any wallet address that has this little bookmark here, we know it's a contract address. So if we're looking to see who the first whale is of this project and how much they hold, we would look at something that's not a null address or a contract address, which is this wallet right here. This is the amount of tokens that they hold. And they hold 1.7% of the total supply of that project, which is not bad. So the top whale owns 1.7%. Now from there, I want to see what the top 10 holders hold. Why do I want to look at this? Why is this important when we're doing research? If the top 10 whales hold more than 30% of that project, they're controlling it. If they all decide to sell, you're going to lose your investment in that project. I've seen projects where top 3 whales hold 50% of it. We don't know who those whales are. We don't know what their intentions are. So it's important to always look at who holds what. Even though you don't really know who the person is, but you can see the wallet address. I could click on that wallet address. I could further investigate. But we could see that the top 10 whales hold about, I would say, if I did this math, about 10%. So that's not bad. This would be something that I could possibly invest into. So, I'm going to give you guys a really quick task. I want you guys to go on CoinMarketCap, go to Shiba, Shiba Inu. Click on this contract address and post how many holders Shiba Inu has on the Ethereum blockchain. I'll give you guys a few moments to go ahead and post that. You could write it, take a screenshot. Awesome. Again, I love seeing the amount of holders and what they're holding because it lets me know if I invest my money into this project, can they dump on me? Can they manipulate the price? So I'm gonna go back over to Catgirl now that you guys did that, and I'm gonna further investigate Catgirl. So I'm gonna head over to their community. The first thing I want to see in their socials is their Twitter. Why do I want to see their Twitter? Their Twitter's gonna tell me a lot about the project. How many people follow their Twitter? But on top of the fact that that I want to see how many people follow the actual Twitter account, I want to know if they're actual followers or if they're botted, right? If they're botted, it tells me that the project might not be as legit as I thought originally, because they're paying for bots to make the project look good. And that's not something that you ever want to see. You really don't want to see that. So I can see Catgirl has 53,000 followers. I'm sorry, 53,000 followers, right? So let's go look at their engagement when they post. This is a pinned tweet. I usually scroll over the pinned tweet and I'll go to their last tweet, which was April 8th, regardless of what was posted. And I can see they have 878 likes. If we keep going, April 6th, they have 577. Even though the engagement is pretty low for the amount of followers that they have, for 53,000 followers, it's not horrible. They should have more for 53,000 followers, but they also have to do like a good post for them to get a lot of likes. If usually we see a lot of accounts that have like 10,000 followers and you'll see 15 likes. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. That lets me know that they don't have real followers. There's not anybody really following this project to the point where you're going to make any money if you actually invest into it. So Twitter's down. For the sake of time, I would also check out their Discord, their Reddit, their Telegram. I would ask certain questions, especially in their Telegram or their Discord. You could ask certain questions about the project. If you are silenced, you do not want to deal with that project anymore. If they don't want to answer any of your questions because they're too tough, that is never good. So, that's how I look at that. If they're trying to silence you because you're asking good questions, it's because they have something to hide. Let's take a look at Catgirl's white paper and we'll move along. So if I go through CatGirl's white paper, I want to see information about the project. I won't go through this in depth, but I could scroll through this and really learn about their tokenomics. I can see their fees and how the money is moving through the project. They have 1% reflection, 1% goes to the liquidity, 2% is contributed towards the NFT farming, and so on, right? So this is something that you guys could do on your own. The more in-depth a white paper is, the better. However, keep in mind that a white paper is something that the project is coming out with themselves, right? So you also have to take that with a grain of salt. And the more information that they put on the white paper that's good information and not just a bunch of letters gives me more confidence in that actual project. So let's do something now. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy this contract address, and I'm going to teach you guys how to debunk a project. When you're trying to on BSC scan, there's certain, and I'm going to show you guys certain links that could help you determine if a project is a honeypot. A honeypot is simply a project that you could buy into but you cannot sell. The only people that can sell are the developers or whoever's in control of that contract, deeming it a honeypot for them. So if a project is ever a honeypot, that's a project you are never going to put any money into because you can never cash out your money. No matter if you put $1,000 in there and it goes to $10,000, you cannot have access to that money because a contract is not allowing you to do that. So there's a website that we use for projects on BSC called Token Sniffer. So let's head over to Token Sniffer. And I simply come up to the right top here and I'm going to paste this contract address. And I can see here it pulls up CatGirl. Important things to notice here on Token Sniffer. We have the links at the top. We can see BSC scan again. I'll click it real quick. If I click on that, it's going to take me to the official BSC scan where we were just at, where we saw 230 holders, 230K. We could open up the chart on PooCoin. If you click on that, this will give you a little bit more information. You can see the market cap here. You can scroll down to the bottom and you can see buys and sells coming in if you wanted to follow the project. This is a good website to know. You could actually connect your wallet here, your Trust wallet, and you could actually transact here, buy and sell on the Binance Smart Chain. That's a conversation for another day, but this is a helpful website, poocoin.app. Going back into the Token Sniffer, the smell test gives me a number that I could base the legitimacy of this project. Go ahead and copy this, take a screenshot of this screen right here and post it on the class chat so that we know you're following along and we know that you are learning about Token Sniffer. We mentioned honeypot, right? We see a check mark here, right on this one. This says token is sellable, not a honeypot at this time. If this has an X on it, your research on this project is done. You're not investing a single dollar into this project. You are not mentioning this project to anybody. It's over. You're going to move on because you cannot sell this token, right? So if there's an X there, we are moving on from this project. We are not looking at it anymore. This second one here and the third one is going to tell you the fee when you're buying and selling into this project. So if it's over 10% when you buy, this would have an X. However, that doesn't mean that that's a negative, right? That's just telling you the fee on that project. You don't want to buy anything with 30% tax, 40% tax, 50% tax. But 15 and under is doable. I like to see no tax, but 5% on buying, 5% on sell is not bad. It's a total of 10. You always have to take that into account when you're buying into a project like this. We can see that the verified contract source is legitimate. That's always something you want to see. If it is not legitimate, you are moving on as well. Honeypot and a not a legitimate source on the contract, you are moving on. You are done with that research. So this one right here is and I'm gonna skip over these first two and I'm gonna explain this one right here. Ownership renounced or source does not contain an owner contract. This is something that could be good and it could be bad, depending on the project. And I'm going to explain why real quick. We are about 30 minutes in, so I'm going to run through this explanation a little bit so we could get to everything that we need to get to. When a contract when a team of developers renounce the ownership of the contract, it gives a certain amount of confidence because we know that contract cannot be messed around with. We know that they cannot go in there and, for example, change the code to make it a honeypot or to change certain things that would be negative for the community. However, from time to time, it is important for projects not to renounce their contract because, especially when the contract is very new, because if they need to go back and fix anything on that contract, they're able to do that. If they renounce it and there's any issues, it's over. There's no going back in there and fixing anything. If it's detrimental to the project, that project is done. I've seen it happen before. There was a project called CryptoMines, and it was an amazing project. However, they renounced the contract and they weren't able to go back in there and fix the issues. So it's a double-edged sword. A lot of times projects come out early. There's bots that are going in there and they're messing with the contract. And every time somebody buys, they sell. And then they buy again and they're never letting that price really get to where it needs to get to. So this is a double-edged sword. I don't want you guys to see this as a huge negative, but it's something to pay attention to. However, if it does have a check on it, it gives the investor a little bit more confidence knowing that the team can't really go in there and change the contract, remove liquidity, unlock the liquidity, and whatnot. So source does not contain a fee modifier. This is something that I'll explain real quick as well. This just means that the dev team could go in there really quick and change the tokenomics and make the fee, the buying and selling fee, either go up or go down. Source does not contain a max transaction amount. That's not such a huge negative either. If it did contain a max transaction amount, then it could prevent big whales from selling off huge amounts. That's simply what that means. If I move down to the bottom, so we can see these X's are affecting this number here. So if I don't take this into account, it would be higher than a 27, which I wouldn't really take this into account. So again, we're debunking what's going on here, right? This doesn't apply to every project, but it applies to the project that we're talking about right now. So if we move down, we get some more information. We can see that the token burns, in fact, are 63%, which we did see that on the website. And we do see what the circulating supply is. This checks out the liquidity analysis, which is always important to know what liquidity is where. Where's that liquidity being held? Another big thing is that liquidity locked? Just because, and this is something that I want you guys to put in the chat, but I'm going to figure out what I want you to put in the chat about this. This is one of the most important things that you could take away from this. Just because a project says that it has its liquidity locked doesn't mean it's a safe project to invest into. You want to find out how long that liquidity is locked for. Because I could make a project and say liquidity is locked and it's only locked for a month. And once that liquidity is unlocked, I could do whatever I want with that. So it's very important to find out till when that liquidity is locked. And that's something that you always want to pay attention to. If it says liquidity is locked for 6 months and it's up to this day, then you want to make sure you're paying attention to what's going on to that project before that date, right? So I want you guys to write on the chat, liquidity locked till when is important. However you guys want to type that into the chat, write that into the chat, because you want to know that it's locked, but you want to know till when it is locked. That's a common mistake that I've seen happen over and over again, where people do not find out till when that liquidity is actually locked. And we could see here what has been burned and locked. This is normally locked. So we could see that these contracts are locked for another 139 days. This one has 17 days remaining. This one has 139 as well. But we could see that the deep lock has already expired. So all the liquidity from this is expired. However, pay attention to the percentage. So that's something that you guys want to pay attention to as well. Always pay attention to that because it's a big deal. The other thing that I would not take into account here is owner creator wallet contains less than 5% liquidity. So if they have less than 5% of the total supply of the liquidity, then this would have a check mark. However, this website usually doesn't pick up on what the actual owner's wallet or the creator's wallet is. We know when we went back, and whoever answers this, we'll give them some extra XP. I hope that we could follow through with that. We talked about the top whale in the project. How much, the first person that answers this, how much did the first whale of the project actually own? Go ahead to the class chat. I'll wait till I see it. Okay, it was about 1.7% if I remember correctly. The number one whale on this project. Now this website is telling me that they own 17.5% of that. The Block Explorer doesn't really lie. That's the beautiful thing about crypto. Everything sits on a blockchain that you could go back and verify. So we know that the top whale owns 1.77%. So this is probably picking up on a contract address, maybe PancakeSwap or Bitmart or the other exchanges that we saw, and it's saying it's 17.5, right? So we just debunked this here, right? We reviewed this. We also see that it's less than 0.01%. So that's okay. And we kind of we'll leave one of these X's here. So this 27 out of 100 really isn't 27 out of 100, but we'll still move on very carefully. Sean, did you have something to say?
No, I love all the comments in chat, guys. Keep it up. Nice work.
Sweet. Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm good on time because there's still a lot I want to get to. So Token Sniffer is really used when we're on BSC scan. There's other sites that I would want to share with you guys. For the Avalanche network, which the block explorer for Avalanche network is snowtrace.io, right? Each network has their own block explorer. Ethereum has Etherscan, the ERC. I believe it's ERC 721. Am I mistaken there? ERC. I think the 721 is actual. No, it's the ERC 20s. Sorry. I think the 721s are more geared towards the NFTs. Solana has Soulscan.io. So each one has their own block explorer that you could go in there and really find out information about that project. Look at the holders. Let's look at you know what? Let's look at one on Polygon. Let's look at Blocktopia. Now we know this isn't a pool coin, but we know it's on the Polygon network, right? So I think this is polygonscan.com. So if we come to polygonscan.com, we click on that contract address right here. We can see that they have 60,000 holders. And if we go to holders, which I know this isn't going to look good, we can see that the first 7 wallets aren't even a contract wallet address. And the wallet number 1 owns 31.5% of that total supply. Now, I could probably guess one of these top 5s is Jake Paul, BitBoy Crypto, and whatnot, because they're the ones that have spoken on this project. Could be the team or whatever, but we won't speculate on that. But as you can see, and this is something that if you're going to invest into Block, and I love that I pulled this one up. If you're going to invest into Block, you better understand that the top 5 whales own, I don't know, who could do that math for me real quick? 31 plus 24 plus 15 plus 14 plus 7% of that total supply. I mean, we're wow. That's a huge amount of supply for 5 whales to hold on a project. If those whales decided to sell that today, anybody under that is in serious trouble. Serious trouble. So this is why research is important. If you were thinking about putting a significant amount of money into a block, you might want to rethink that, and you might want to take this into consideration. I absolutely love that I ran into this, because this is something that you guys and girls, if there's any girls in here, really want to look at. Usually when you see quantities that end in even numbers like this, that's usually either the creator, the owner, the dev team, the marketing team. That's usually their coins. If you see even numbers like this that are clear, that's usually the team. So minus the first whale, which is a huge amount, that's a lot of circulating supply for the whales to hold. I mean, for the team to hold. I mean, they really control a lot of that project. If they ever wanted to give up on that project, I mean, that spells trouble. So that's Polygon scan for Polygon, for the Polygon network. We have, I'm going to give you guys a quick task. There's a project on the Avalanche network called DCAU. It's called Dragon Crypto Room. The ticker's DCAU. Go on CoinMarketCap, put DCAU, click on that contract address, and post that screenshot in the class chat to see who's really following along and who knows how to find this information. I'll give you guys a quick minute. The project's ticker is DCAU. It's on a completely different block explorer. Yeah, correct, Renato. DCAU, Dragon Crypto Room. And while you guys do that, I'm gonna tell you why I chose this project. This is a project that has been one of the best calls I've made till date. Got into this project super early. I had to do my research on this project heavily, and part of that research included me jumping into their Discord when they had nobody there and asking the developers the tough questions, and them not running away from the questions, but actually answering them without hesitation, without stuttering, and without painting the perfect picture, which gave me confidence in that project. Brande, go ahead and click on that contract address. Click on the contract address and then post the block explorer, the Snow Trace block explorer. Same thing as if you guys wanted to see how many holders they had, you would click on holders, and you would do and so on. If you wanted to learn more about that project, again, quick review. We're going to go to the website. We're going to make sure it's secure. We're going to go to their socials. We're going to make sure that they're not heavily botted. We are going to verify that a large portion of the holders aren't holding a significant amount of the circulating supply. Awesome. Awesome. So let's go ahead and move on. Let me close some of these. And real quick, to end the class, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go on CoinMarketCap, and I'm going to research a project with everybody right now. We're going to do this in 5 minutes, and then we're going to open the floor for questions and whatnot. So if I go to CoinMarketCap and I see recently added, we're going to look into a project that's new. Let's look for something. Let's look for something on BNB. Let's see what catches my attention. Oh boy, stay few QR. Oh, for fun, let's look at Tipsy Coin. First thing, I'm going to run you guys through it. I'm looking at the website here. I'm going to see that. I see that they're on BNB network. I see their contract address here. Big red flag. There's no circulating or total supply. I need to find out why. And I can see that they had $132,000 worth of volume today, and it's up 11%. Obviously, it's brand new. So I can see that it's picked up. Usually, you will see this at the beginning. If I scroll down to the bottom, I can see that I could buy this on PancakeSwap if I wanted to do that. So first thing I'm going to do, go to Tipsy Coin. Let's go to the website. And let's click on the website. Okay. An open world metaverse. So it's a play to earn. Guess you could customize the metaverse. I can see right here that the website is secure. That's one thing that I'm always looking for, right? Beautiful. We have a roadmap. Before I go to the roadmap, I want to take a look at the tokenomics real quick. Max supply of 100 billion. That answers that question because I couldn't see it here. It's a hyper deflationary token. We could read more on that. And they have a buy and sell limit of 500 million of total supply per transaction. Good and bad. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you tell me that they could do it a transaction after another transaction after another transaction, then it takes away them kind of having a limit. But if you are going to do that, you have to take into account the tax that you're going to be charged on the tokenomics. So let's see if we can find out what that actual tax is. Transaction fees, here we go, 4%, 4%, and 2%. So it has a total of 10%. So 10% on buy, 10% on sell, that's 20% in total. We could continue to look into it, but we're getting the basic information down. Certic audited. Okay. I love to see a project that's audited by Certic. I'm glad I ran into this. Please, 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 please. If it's not a company that you don't recognize, that you haven't seen before, that's accredited, just because it's a random company that's saying they have audited a project, doesn't mean it's legit. These projects that are trying to fool people come out with their own audit. They come up with a company, they make a website, a fake website, and they say, oh, we've been in business forever, and we audit projects, and this one passed it with flying colors. If it's not Certic or a project that you really recognize, Quant Stamp or whatnot, it's don't take that audit serious. Again, just because it says here that they're Certic audited, I want to verify this. I really do. I wish they had a link where I could actually see the report. I want to see the report. But if I come back to Tipsy Coin, if it was truly audited by Certic, down here it would have a little tag that says Certic verified right here. So moving along, I'll go for about 3 more minutes. Our smart contract has been audited by Certic. Learn more. Let's see what we got. Okay, no, this is not a Certic report. So they have not been audited by Certic. That's completely false. There's nothing here. Certic has their own reports, and as you guys research projects, you guys will run into that. Let's take a look at the roadmap real quick. I would go through this and make sure that they've knocked all this stuff off. Even though they have checks, I want to make sure that stuff's knocked off. Bang and bang. If I come back to the Tipsy token, let's go look at the Block Explorer. 4,000 holders. Contract, all these are contracts. First Whale owns 3.3%. And I could go so on. Remember, all these are contracts. It's very early, but if we really wanted to go in depth and see where these contracts belong to, we would click on the addresses and try to investigate that. I don't have enough time to go through that right now with everyone, but and also real quick, I never like when I have to actually download a white paper. For some legit projects, you will have to download it because it's 146 pages long. For example, Luxo. Luxo is a project that I researched for almost 2 weeks before I had enough confidence in it to call it out, because I had to read their white paper 7 times to even begin to understand it. That's how in depth their white paper is. And a lot of stuff on that white paper was repetitive, but there was a lot of information. So we did that. We could go to their Twitter real quick. Just running through it. So they have 25. Okay, beautiful. They have 25.5 K followers. That's a lot of followers for a new project. Another thing you guys could do is you guys could go to the very beginning and see when they actually came out with their Twitter. When was their first tweet? See, March 8th. We keep going. I'll do this really quick. Okay, so they've been January 13th and they're still ongoing. So let's go back to the top. I'm not gonna look at the pin tweet. Okay, so 45 likes on this one, 29 on that one, 44 and whatnot. That doesn't add up. 26, 25 likes, 24 likes does not add up to 25K followers. It just does. So, red flag. And they have a pudgy penguin there, which is funny. Again, that was the basics, the very basics of. I wish I had more time. I could literally go for another hour and go really in depth into projects. I wish I had more time. I hope that you guys took away from this some important key factors that I look for when looking into projects, whether that's a poo coin or a regular coin like block. I'll open the floor up for questions. Sean, if you have any comments, there's anything you want me to run through. Again, I wish I had more time, but fortunately, it's already 9:50. So
That was great. That was great, Ralphie. We'll have to invite you back so you don't feel so claustrophobic with the time. If anybody has a question, feel free to type it into chat, and we'll unmute you. You're getting a standing ovation from Jangle here. What common sites do you use for research besides Token Sniffer?
So the basic sites that I use, again, I start off on CoinMarketCap, and then I go to their website, and their website will tell me a lot about the project that I need to know. For more legit projects, I want to look into what venture capitalists are invested into them and whatnot, and go from there and see if I can find any articles that aren't paid for articles. To find out about that project. Um, Twitter, you could use Twitter to your advantage. You could type up the project's name and see what people are saying about it, and that'll lead you to certain sites that you could do more research on. You could go on YouTube. There's usually people that review projects and give you their 2 cents on them. Again, take that information with a grain of salt. But right off the top of my head, I can't really remember any other sites that I really use. See if I can think here.
Happy Meal asks if we can use CoinGecko instead of CoinMarketCap. I'll answer this one. I prefer. I have always used CoinMarketCap. Recently, it was exposed that CoinMarketCap is pay to play, and that their trending section is just paid for. It is not actually trending tokens. So, based on just that little bit of manipulation of my trust, I've switched over to CoinGecko. I can't tell you if CoinGecko's pay to play, but I am hoping that one day we come out with a decentralized coin tracker, so that problem doesn't exist. Yes, my name is Chad, asks Ralphie. Can you tell us a quick story or experience of you getting rug pulled or scammed, or has this research really prevented that from happening to you?
Oh no, absolutely not. I have gotten the worst one that got me was a project called Crypto Eats. So Crypto Eats came out with a ton of information about their project. Their website looked absolutely amazing. They rented the penthouse in one of the most expensive buildings to rent in the UK, in downtown, as their headquarters, their office. They came out with a bunch of marketing stuff. They were going to be the Uber Eats of the crypto world. And they had certain UK influencers. Everything looked legit. The contract looked good. However, it was a honeypot. What happened there was, from time to time, a project was, before it's released, before the contract goes live, it's going to say it's a honeypot, right? And then once the contract is actually released and it's live, it'll update and show that it's not a honeypot. My mistake was not running that contract to check if it was still a honeypot. I let my emotions get the best of me, and I invested about $300 into it. This is a project that came out with commercials in the UK, with helicopters, branding mopeds, the food where they're gonna carry the food, the coolers. I mean, they went all out. This company must have spent $2 million on marketing, right? But when your return is 20 million in 15 minutes, because that's how long the contract was live, for 15 minutes, and they walked away with $18 million, I would say spending $2 million is worth it. That was my mistake. I did not verify that contract before I actually purchased into it. Everything looked good. Everything looked legit. I mean, I laugh about it, but they really got me. They really got me. And by the way, I'll admit to this. This is already when I knew how to do research. This is already when I knew how to do research. Even somebody like me was caught in that. Always verify, no matter what. Don't ever go on he says, she said. Do it for yourself.
I'll tell
But that one was the one that I'll let you go. But that one was the one that hurt my ego. Go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
Yeah, it does actually hurt your ego quite a bit. I'll tell a quick little story. So I am a top 100 coin kind of guy. I'm a dollar cost averaging kind of guy, and I am a teacher, so I don't get paid a lot. So starting in 2016, I've built up my portfolio slowly and steadily and confidently and patiently, and I very, very rarely do any sort of hype plays. In fact, I am resistant to marketing. If you market something to me, that means you want me to buy it. If I want to buy it, I'll make that decision on my own. And when Logan Paul, one of the Paul brothers, was going to fight Floyd Mayweather, a company came out that was founded in the town over from the town that I lived in the city next to mine. And my roommate, who had never gotten into crypto before, started really getting hype about it. And he thought this was his way that he was going to, make up for all the time that he hadn't been in crypto by investing into this platform, which is called Ethereum Max, which is now being sued. Kim Kardashian is in the lawsuit. Logan Paul himself, I think, is in the lawsuit. But the amount of hype and drive around it, and the fact that those close to me were telling me, oh, you're in crypto, you got to get in this one, you got to get in this one. I threw some considerable money at it and really lost, like really got hurt. I lost a good amount of Ethereum on that project, simply because of all the external influence. So peer pressure is a very real thing in this space. I know some people on TikTok like to follow their favorite influencers or whatever. Keep in mind when you're following an influencer, that unless they're showing you the research and showing you the evidence for what they're talking about, that you really, really want to be doing this research on your own. That the steps that Ralphie's shown us tonight are things we can all do, and that everyone here should not just buy into something because they saw it on TikTok, because somebody famous talked about it. It doesn't matter who it is. It just matters if you individually have done your research. Then price goes up, price goes down. Well, at least I know what I was doing. At least I went into this with eyes wide open, and I knew I wasn't going to just walk into a honeypot like, oh, yokel dokel, I guess I'm here to give everybody else exit liquidity.
Right. It's funny because on TikTok you'll see a lot like do your own research, but it's like, how do you do your own research? A lot of people don't know how to do that. And what I covered today was the very basics of doing, your own research. There's a lot more that can be done. There's a lot more that should be done. But yeah, I can see that happen. I can see that happen.
Well, I appreciate everything that you've shown us tonight. We have to have you back once we get through some of the other teachers. I'm going to go ahead and post a link in class chat to Ralphie's Discord, the Crypto Dojo. You guys can all go check that out. Do you want to talk briefly about the Crypto Dojo?
Yeah, sure. So Crypto Dojo is a place to learn crypto, trade crypto. We're a very tight-knit community. It's a bunch of people that just came together and wanted to learn crypto. And so I started teaching what I knew. I started sharing my, the information, and along the way came people that were very knowledgeable as well that, joined the team. And we went from buying poo coins and to trading crypto. Now we love trading crypto. Um, but we're going into NFTs, we're going into metaverse projects. I call out pretty decent projects for people to invest into after doing my research. Obviously not financial advice. We always have to say that, but it's just a place where you could go in and work as a team with everybody in Discord and learn about crypto and try to make some money. Try to make some money.
You guys should all go check out his Discord. Some good, easy ways to make money in there. We will be looking at tomorrow night what red flags you should look at before investing into NFT projects. There's plenty of time for questions. If you guys got questions, feel free to ask them away. But yes, tomorrow night we will feature Jasa as he talks a little bit about red flags in the NFT space, what to look for in projects. Going a little bit more onto the avoid this rather than what Luke J talked about last week, which was look for this. I will also make a quick announcement that the new Kahoot from last night's Ethereum class is now up. If you go to event announcements, you'll be able to take that Kahoot, and top 10 winners of the Kahoot will receive a big XP drop, leveling you up in our system. I saw a lot of people leveling up tonight. Nice work, people. If we could get a quick, there it is right there. Thank you for posting that, Renato. If we could get a round of applause, please, for CryptoRalfy. Give some claps in the chat. There it is. Beautiful. Just excellent.
Thank you very much for coming up tonight, CryptoRalfy. We really appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, man, no problem at all. I love teaching people, what I've learned along the way, so they don't make the mistakes that I've made. So yeah, it's awesome. That was awesome. I hadn't actually done a class like this in a while. I've done it on my Discord, but I hadn't done it in a while, and I kind of like doing this. I kind of like teaching.
It's amazing.
Enjoyable.
You need to do like a 3-hour class, man.
Yeah, I could really get into depth, and there's certain projects that I've looked into where I could just do a class on those projects, and like the black, how do I say this, like the black hole that you get into, like it gets deep. Like some research on some of these projects, you could go and go and go. And it's funny because I'm in one of those. I'm actually in a few of those right now. I love researching. When you start researching projects and you start making your own calls, it's addicting. It really truly is. Like, I enjoy sitting on my computer and really reading up on these projects and trying to uncover and debunk every single last bit of this project, to the point where I go as far as finding their LinkedIns and researching and looking at where they worked before, who they worked with, and where are those people now? Why did this person get to the point that they are now? I mean, it gets deep. It gets deep.
That's awesome.
I just have one comment.
Go for it.
Binance owns CoinMarketCap, just FYI.
They actually do. Yeah, they do. I was actually surprised to learn when Sean said that the trending section is actually paid for.
I only use CoinGecko. Like, I'll look at CoinMarketCap, but if I want actual unbiased information, I can't rely on it.
Yeah, CoinGecko is good. I actually like CoinGecko a lot. However, for whatever reason, I tend to go on CoinMarketCap a lot more often. But CoinGecko at times is even a lot more accurate. I will admit that they are more accurate. I would say that.
Any other last questions before we wrap up class for tonight?
The only thing I was going to mention to you, Sean, was if I remember correctly, that JASA thing is on Friday, correct?
I believe it's tomorrow night.
Okay, because
Let me double check the
it
schedule.
says in so that I just wanted to double check with you, just so we reminded people this evening. But as far as excuse me, the class schedule, it's listed as Friday. But if it's somewhere different, then I wanted to make sure that we had that information correct.
Yeah, it is tomorrow night. Let's see. I will double check before I misspeak, and I will post it in class schedule before the night is over tonight.
Thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate that.
Any last minute questions before we wrap up tonight? We are going to close up class chat after class is over. You guys are welcome to head over to recess if you'd like to keep challenging each other. I'm going to post a contract. I'm going to ask you guys to report back to me on based on what we learned tonight. And please do make sure to go check out the Crypto Dojo. And if you're not following CryptoRalfy on TikTok, I would highly recommend it. He's not only entertaining, but he spits facts. So
Yeah, a bit controversial at time, but I like to speak my mind and really put that information out there and take some of the stuff with a grain of salt. It's having fun sometimes, especially when I go after Doge and Solana. Think that would agree.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Listen, it's fun for me. Let me answer this question. So, how do you go about confronting project owners about major red flags? You just ask them the question straight up. Don't be shy about it. You're investing your money here. You are investing your money. You want to find out the answers. You ask them the questions straight up. You go in there and you ask the questions and you make sure you get the answer that you're looking for, right? If they beat around the bush or whatever, then that's an answer within itself. If they don't answer your questions, that's an answer within itself as well. It's ask the questions. You're gonna invest your the money you work for here. Yeah, that was that. Sean, thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity. I had fun. Again, I love what you're doing here. I love what you're doing with this Discord, and I think that it's an amazing opportunity for the crypto community. So you have my support.
Hey, I appreciate it. We've got to have you back. That was absolutely excellent. Just as a last quick announcement, again, I've got these Ledger Nano S's that I don't want, and we're giving them out. So yeah, we will have class and then pizza party, and I will see you guys in recess chat. I've just posted our after class assignment. If you could please tell me how many wallets hold chess, CHESS. It's on. You can check out on the Binance Smart Chain, on the Block Explorer, via Cscan, and tell me how many different wallets hold that address. And I appreciate all of you being here. Go ahead and invite people, and we'll see you in class next time. Nice work tonight, people.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.